And welcome to New Teacher Notes. This is Dr. Lenora Foster, and I'm so pleased to spend this time with you as you are beginning to navigate through your first year of teaching. Now, I am gearing this information to teachers who are just graduating from undergrad and getting ready to get started, teachers who are, joining this career, this profession from their first, second, or third career. So this is your second, third, or fourth career. So thank you. And we know that you're going to bring a wealth of information and wisdom from your previous experiences. You may be a teacher who have a few years under your belt, but it's been a little while since you had to move to another state, to another school district, or to a school across town. And so you want to brush up on some of the things that you need to do to become acclimated to your new learning environment. And so we welcome you, and hopefully I will be of help to you with that. International teachers, we thank you. We appreciate you. We understand that you are leaving what is familiar, what is comfortable, and you're in some cases maybe even leaving your family members to come over here and invest in our youth. And we're so grateful for that. So let's go ahead and get started, and let's talk about, as I'm sure you're eager to think about, what are some things you should be doing in the weeks and months leading up into your first year of teaching. I like to use the layered approach, and I'm going to start off with a professional library. Now, this is going beyond the theories that you've learned in undergrad or graduate school. This is beyond knowing, learning about Maslow or Piaget or whomever, okay, or Bandura. You want to build a library for yourself, whether you keep this in your classroom behind your desk, or you have this tucked away nicely at home, but you can reach on the shelf while you're home and pull this out. But this is a wonderful way to kind of build up your knowledge of some different practices, best practices for teaching in the classroom. Now, once you read these books, we're not expecting you to be an expert on it by any means, but it's good to have that background knowledge of it. So once you're in the trenches, so to speak, once you're in there and you're doing these things, you're like, what should I do in this situation, or what should I try? At least you have read about some things. You say, wait a minute, I think I read something about this. Let me reach back and pull this. And that's the importance of having a professional library. So I'm going to mention 3 books, and I'm going to place these books, this information at the end of the video. So if you don't catch it right away, don't stress out. It's going to be at the end of the video. But the first book that I suggest that you invest in is The First Days of School by Harry T. Wong. Now, this book is geared more toward elementary, but secondary teachers, middle school, high school teachers, and I'm a middle school and high school teacher. Listen, don't sleep on this book. This book is excellent. It really takes you through the process of understanding why you're doing what you're doing, why you're setting up your classroom the way you're setting it up. Where should you place your desk? Where should you place your student's desk? What should you put on your bulletin boards? Okay, what are some of the centers you should create, or how should you organize your groups? What are some rules and procedures you should have for your classroom? Harry T. Wong does an excellent job of this, and there's more in it for middle and high school teachers than you will probably initially think. But it's worth everyone, whether you're teaching kindergarten or you're teaching 8th grade or you're teaching 12th grade, you should invest in that book for your professional library. The second recommendation out of 3 is dealing with the 16 Habits of Mind. Okay, and this is entitled Learning and Leading with Habits of Mind, by author L. Costa and Benna Kalik, and they've written a series of books, by the way. I'm going to do one episode just on the 16 Habits of Mind. It's that rich of a topic. Okay, so basically, author and Benna came up with a list of 16 cognitive skills that not only you need to internalize and learn and incorporate, and you probably already are most of them, but you can put a name to it. Not only are you learning from this and using this in the classroom yourself as a teacher, you can also then teach these cognitive skills, and we're always interested in teaching students skills that's going to be beneficial to them as they go along throughout their life, to help them in the learning process. And so we're going to speak more about that later. The third book I would like to recommend is called The Novice Advantage: Fearless Practice for Every Teacher. This is by Jonathan Eckert. And again, this book is really centered on the idea that it's actually a good thing that you're new to the profession. It's a good thing that you're new. It's a good thing that you're there and you're coming up with new ideas that veteran teachers may not come up with. So I know some of the teachers that I've mentored in the past, after the first few weeks or the first month or two of school, they become a little exasperated and says, well, I just wish I can teach like some of the veteran teachers. They just seem to glide into the classroom and they just open their mouth and it just comes out, and they're so fluid, and they know what to do and when to do and how to do, and they just wish they can get there. And yes, that comes with time. That's not just something that you naturally get overnight. That comes with time. However, you're bringing something to the table that veteran teachers don't necessarily have, and that is new and fresh ideas. You're looking at it from a different perspective. Okay, those of you who are coming from a different career, you're probably seeing the way things are in the business world or in another field, and you can incorporate that into your classroom, some of those skills into your classroom as you're creating groups and activities and those type things, for example. Okay, so the fact that you're new, the fact that you are willing to try something different, the fact that you're flexible because you don't have a set way of doing anything, this is all new to you, that is actually to your advantage. So this book is a wonderful way to kind of keep you centered in saying, hey, we're glad that you're here and you're bringing something to the table starting off. And so that's a good thing. So let's marinate in the positives that you are definitely bringing to the table that's giving everybody a fresh breath of air. Okay, so start your professional library. And again, I'm going to have those books posted at the end of this video in case you didn't catch all of the titles and the authors. Okay, moving right along, I tell the teachers that I mentor every year how important it is to build your village. If you are fortunate, and most school districts thankfully have really put a lot of time and energy into mentoring their new teachers coming in order to retain their teachers. So more than likely you're going to be assigned to a mentor teacher, and that's great. However, in many cases, those mentor teachers are not necessarily next door to you they may not even be on the same hallway. They may be on the other side of campus, or you may be on the first floor, they're on the third floor. Okay, so with that being said, when you have a little glitch in your lesson plan, when you're not sure how to handle a particular situation or whatnot, your mentor teacher may not be readily accessible. They may not be able to get right back to you. They may not be able to respond to your emails the second that you send it. So it's good to have a village of supporters within the building. So let's start off with your supporters, okay? Building your village. Number one, your administrative team. Know who your administrative team members are and make sure they know you. Now you've already gone and you've interviewed, and that's how you got the job. So you probably already met the principal, and you probably already met at least one of the assistant principals, if not all of them. So what you need to do is make sure that you gone to them, maybe meet them in their office, just stop by really quick, nothing deep, just say, hi, my name is, I'm teaching, I'm doing this, and just so that they can connect a name with the face. The second person within the building you need to become familiar with is the school secretary. So the school secretary is like the glue of the school. He or she knows what's going on in the building. They keep the administrative team informed. They keep the parents informed. They keep the teachers informed. They make things happen for. Sometimes they can pull a rabbit out of a hat for you. Sometimes when you're in a pinch. So make friends with the secretary. Just go up to them, hi. Make it really quick. And you want to do this 2 or 3 weeks before the school year started, before you're officially reporting to work. So, because once everybody gets there, everybody's faces and names starts blurring. So if you get there early, you let them know, they get that positive vibe from you. They connect your spirit with your face and your name and all of that. That's to your benefit. Okay? Third person that you need to get in contact with is your department chairperson. Again, sometimes you meet them at your interview. Great. But if not, ask your administration, ask your secretary for their contact information, their email, and shoot them a really quick email a week or 2 before the school year gets started. I would say it wouldn't hurt to even send them a little video clip of yourself so they can put a name with the face and kind of feel as though they know you a little bit about you before everybody officially reports to school. The fourth person or individual will be the custodial, or group will be the custodial staff. They are going to be your best friends. Okay, they're just as important as the secretary in making sure the school runs efficiently. So they're the ones you're going to be calling on if a student gets sick in your classroom or if someone spills something. So you want to, again, before the school year gets started, when you stop by the school to visit or set up your classroom, make sure that you speak to them, show them positive vibe, and listen. Every school that I've taught in, the custodial staff, they're very, very observant. They're also wondering what type of teacher are you going to be. So make sure you kind of put in there that, listen, I believe in keeping my classroom neat and clean. I expect my students to keep the classroom neat and clean, and let them know that you're proactive. You're not just going to be calling on them constantly to do something for you. If they see that you're proactive and you're neat and clean and you're respectful to what they do in their role, then listen, they will bend over backwards to do whatever they can if they can do it for you. Okay, so this is building your village. These are not the only people that are going to be in your village, but build your village. Okay, these are the first 4 people or groups of people that you should be contacting during the summer. Okay, so the next thing you should do, the next layer would be the curriculum and the getting started in knowing what you're going to be teaching and all of that. So you want to start off with your philosophy of learning statement. You want to start doing a rough draft of that. What is it? How do you see your classroom operating? What do you believe students should be doing in your classroom? What can they do? What do you want the end product to be? So you can look up, and every school district is a little bit different, but with coming up with a motto or learning statement or a philosophy. But go ahead and start putting together how you envision your classroom to be, okay? And the types of students you want to have at the end. All right, the skills and the knowledge thing that you want them to be able to learn. The next thing is to make sure you have your hands on a copy of the curriculum. So if you're a teacher on the secondary level, you may be teaching multiple subjects. If you're on the elementary school level, you know that you have multiple subjects that you need to cover. Make sure you have either a hard copy and or a copy on your flash drive or your Google Drive, so that you have access to that readily. Also, ask your administrative team or your department chairperson for a teacher manual of the textbook, whether it's an ebook or it's a hardbound textbook. Go ahead and get that ahead of time during the summer and familiarize yourself with it. This is not something, any of these things, the curriculum, you don't need to necessarily know these things like the back of your hand and just be an expert on them, but make sure that you familiarize yourself with those documents and those things. Okay, so I look forward to sharing more information with you in our next episode. Until then.